we came up with this idea. We decided to use technology to make this journey easier for other thyroid patients than it had been for us. To add not just support, but also the motivation and accountability pieces that are required and turn them into results.
Here's JJ Virgin, triple board certified nutrition and fitness expert and 4-time New York Times best-selling author. It's time to reignite wellness.
All right, if you've been diagnosed with a thyroid disease, either Hashimoto's or not, or you are struggling with some of the thyroid-related symptoms like constipation, dry skin, hair falling out, depression, elevated cholesterol. If any of these things are going on, this is for you today. If you feel like, you've got thyroid disease, but you're still not where you want, you're not back yet, I've got some really cool information for you today from Danna and Ginny. So Danna Bowman and Ginny Mahar are two thyroid patient advocates. Both had thyroid disease. That's how they got into all of this, and they couldn't find the resources they needed to get better. And so once they found them, they decided to put it together in a way that made it really easy for people to do. They host Thyroid Refresh TV, which I'll be linking to in the show notes at jjvirgin.com/8 rituals. And that's the number 8, not spelled out, the number 8. And the reason I'm going to be talking about doing 8 rituals is because we're going to go through 8 rituals that you can put into your routine every day that will help you get better results and optimize your thyroid function. They also created something super cool we'll be talking about too, and that's the revolutionary wellness game Thyroid 30. And I just love this whole idea of how to gamify what you need to do to get your thyroid better. So we'll be talking about that as well, and the importance of community, which of course we now know the research is super clear that if you want to up-level your health, up-level who you hang out with, go hang out with healthier people. All right. Now, before we dive into that, I wanted to give a shout out to Stephanie Delfonso, who says, when you want to live your very best life, listen to this. 5 stars. I love how you bring so many wonderful guests to share all aspects of living your best life. Well, today is no different, Stephanie, but except today I have 2. It's a twofer with Danna and Ginny. So I'm very excited to have them both on the show with me today. And I'm also excited to share this with you. Danna and Ginny, welcome. So excited to talk to you guys.
We're so excited to be here. Thank you for having us.
This is always a hot topic. I mean, it is amazing how many people are struggling with thyroid and have thyroid issues, me included. And so this is always one we like to talk about on the show. And I'm excited today because you guys go along with everything that we've talked about to date, but then also have some fresh new information. So it's a bonus here. So what I'd like to do before we dive into the interview and some of the things that you're going to share, I'd love to know what got you guys interested in everything that you've been creating around thyroid health.
I'll go first, Ginny. For me, I'm a thyroid advocate. I was living in Costa Rica with my family, and we lived there for 8 years. It was fabulous. And I was correctly diagnosed with Hashimoto's while living there, which is a big deal. Yay. But the only medicine I had on hand that they could offer me was just a T4. And I thought it was great. At first, I thought, okay, great. I've got my pill. I'm set. I'm going to go off to my Zumba convention tomorrow, and I'll be done and I'll be good. My symptoms will go away. Didn't know that they weren't going to do that. Had no idea. Lifestyle was not mentioned. Gluten was not mentioned. Autoimmune was not mentioned.
You're lucky you even got diagnosed.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, I was lucky to get diagnosed. Now looking back, I can't believe it. This guy was really, fantastic as far as that goes. But, and I felt so alone. I felt so isolated. Like, why am I not getting better? Here I am, a Zumba instructor, and I got to go home and take a nap for 2 hours after I teach. And I've got my pill. What's going on? I couldn't figure it out. So I started doing research, and bam, the whole world opened up. I finally started asking the questions. And so for me, I started another website and got connected to the thyroid community, and I haven't looked back since.
And Ginny?
Well, for me, I think the thing that really fuels my fire, this is like the call that I was, asked to heed, is this idea that in addition to finding the right doctor and getting on the right meds, if you have a thyroid issue like hypothyroidism, diet, lifestyle, and mindset can make a huge difference. And I think the reason this is so important is because a lot of us aren't hearing this from our conventional MDs. I was diagnosed in 2011, shortly after the birth of my son, with hypothyroidism. And I spent 4 years feeling really compromised with my health. And the whole time I was being told by my doctor that my symptoms were all in my head or just the aging process. I was told they had nothing to do with my thyroid and that, it wasn't necessary to change my diet or anything like that. And this is what thyroid patients hear. Now, my symptoms didn't go away until I incorporated diet and lifestyle changes. And I had some really textbook hypothyroid symptoms like fatigue, weight gain, joint pain, depression, hair loss, brain fog. And medication only was not enough. So I finally hit rock bottom and said, I can't live like this anymore. And I took the reins of my health. And within about 6 months of starting to make diet and lifestyle changes specifically for my thyroid health, I had my life back. I mean, that's not an exaggeration for me to say that. I had my energy back. I had cut my Hashimoto's antibodies in half. I was enjoying motherhood again. It makes me want to cry thinking of all that time and energy I lost the first 4 years of motherhood in that sick and exhausted struggle when there were really simple,
And then when it's hard enough.
And there were
oh my gosh.
and I'm asking my doctor, should I
man.
be eating differently? Is there something I'm doing wrong? And there were some really simple changes I could have made sooner in terms of diet and lifestyle. So that's what Danna and I are really on a mission to do, is help people get that knowledge, not just get it, but be able to implement some of these things more easily than we were able to and sooner. Don't suffer for 4 years if you don't have to.
No, and don't suffer alone.
So I, I think about like getting diagnosed when you've got like a baby, when you're already exhausted enough. Oh my gosh. But, first off, someone's getting diagnosed, and for a lot of people, I see that they don't even get diagnosed for quite a while, which is part of the first issue, is that this is going on and you aren't aware of the symptoms. Maybe you go to get to a doctor and they're looking at conventional lab markers and not looking at the fact that, your T3 is low, or you've got all these symptoms and your TSH is elevated, and they're just like, nope, you're in the normal, which I know the normal range at this point hopefully has gotten somewhat blown up. But I also think, and I was talking to Dr. Jeff Bland on a podcast yesterday, and he made a great distinction between disease care and health care. And, when you go to a doctor about conventional doctor about thyroid disease, they're going to look at what medication they need to do. But really with that disease, we have to pull in all of that diet and lifestyle, that healthcare side of it, to really get you better. So what I would look at, because I know it took you some time there, let's say someone actually did get diagnosed, but I'd like to even backpedal a little bit to, if you're suspicious, first of all, what are the things you should be looking for that would make you suspicious that you could have a thyroid issue? And then what should you do first to make sure that you're diagnosed correctly?
I'll jump in really quick first, Jenny. For me, immediately start asking questions. Fatigue. I had pretty much lifelong constipation. I know it's not the most glamorous topic, but none of it is. I had extreme fatigue, memory, brain fog. My hair was very brittle. I just couldn't think. And I kind of lost my zest, my creativity, my juice for life a little bit. And a lot of the symptoms were overlapping, and I just didn't ask the questions. And so for me, I would like to, just stress how important that is. And also want to shout from the rooftops to get a full thyroid panel, not just a thyroid test, and to look at how you're feeling and to talk to your doctor about, okay, so great. Here's all of my lab tests, not just the TSH, not just the free T3, here's my full lab panel. Great. I want to take these home with me, please. And I want to understand them. I want to ask the questions. And doesn't really matter if I fall within these ranges, that's fine, but I'm not feeling well.
Mm-hmm.
What else can we do? Like, ask the questions.
So let's say now that someone's diagnosed, because you said yourself, like between diagnosing and then like thinking you're just going to get better because you went on the first medication and then not getting better, like what can someone, now that they've been diagnosed, what should they be doing? What should they be looking out for? Like what, I would assume one of the biggest mistakes is just assuming that
Right.
you go on thyroid medication and you're fine. But,
Right.
What do we do here, right?
We're not anti-medication. I mean, that's a really important part of your protocol, and we don't want to bash that in any way. It's a part.
It's a part, and you said it key.
But I love that you brought this up, because this is where the magic can really happen, and that's why we're here. So we've broken down the tenets of thyroid healthy living into what we call the 8 daily rituals. Should we go down that list?
Ooh, I just love the whole idea of 8 daily rituals too.
Now,
so
we didn't just make these up.
Let's do it.
Yeah, these are.
And where did these come from?
Pretty much every single,
I was just going to say, where did we get these?
Expert written book on the shelf. We didn't just make these up. These are the across the board recommendations that you hear from pretty much all of the leading thyroid experts out there. So the 8 daily rituals, these are all words. So number 1 is remember. Did you remember to take your medication and supplements? This one sounds obvious for a lot of people, but for some people, that's a major factor, is just taking your medication on time, remembering to take your supplements, things like that. So remember. Number 2 is refuel. And this could be its own show, but refuel is everything you consume as far as food or drink. And the basic premise of, of thyroid nutrition, let's say, let's just take it up to 30,000 feet, is just avoiding inflammatory foods and toxins in the diet, as well as maximizing nutrient density. Number 3 is reactivate. So this one's about movement, staying active. And there's a little more to that for thyroid patients besides just exercising, because so many of us have issues like after we work out, we get exercise fatigue, we might have hypermobility, connective tissue disorders, inflammation, we might end up in an autoimmune flare. So it's really important with your Reactivate ritual to listen to your body and know that in many cases, less is more.
I'm going to put into the show notes for everybody too, and we will do this. I think we'll do this at jjvirgin.com/8 rituals, and it'll just be the number 8 because I love this so much. We'll also link into Thyroid Strong, which is Dr. Emily Kybert's thyroid program, because it was like when she brought up doing this, I'm like, oh yeah, right? This is so awesome. Like finally someone's addressing this. So glad you brought that up. Oh yeah, she's the bomb. Okay, good. Next.
So number 4 is repair. So this is about healing the gut, and leaky gut's been linked to, among other things, food sensitivities, thyroid disorder, skin problems, weight gain. So healing the gut is a really essential part of the overall healing process. 5 is rejuvenate. So this is daily self-care of some kind.
My favorite.
Because we love Rejuvenate. That's our favorite, because too much stress can really affect our cortisol levels. It can lead to adrenal imbalance. It can throw off our hormones, our metabolism. So really becoming mindful of how we're coping with stress and managing stress is going to be one of the most powerful aspects of anyone's healing journey.
I just have to do a little shout out on self-care, because I'm actually reworking a lot of what I've written for Miracle Mindset Warrior Mom around the fact that it's for caretakers, but the bottom line is we're all caretakers. And the bottom line is, as a caretaker, the first person you have to take care of is who?
Yourself.
Right.
Right.
Yes. Put your
And for
own.
some reason we just don't we do not put the oxygen mask on ourselves first, and there's no way you're taking care of a family if you are not taking care of yourself first. So I just want to really underscore that that is not being selfish, it's being selfless, that we must put that priority in there in order to do all the things we need to do in the world. Okay.
Absolutely. And if it
That
makes
was
you
number
feel better,
5, right?
yeah. And if it makes you feel
Mhm.
better, do it for your family and your loved ones. You can't be there for them if you're not okay. Right. So, number
Not and
6
not just
is
okay, and not just okay. Let me just add that in there. Not just okay, but great. Taking
right.
some like intentional moments for yourself is very healing and rewarding, and your creativity can come out and those kinds of things. So this is an opportunity for you to make yourself feel great and be great for your family
Yeah. Such a
and
good point.
yourself. Mhm.
Number 6 is reduce. This is about reducing the toxins in our homes and in our bodies because, as we know, thyroid disorder and autoimmune disease it has been linked to heavy metals and environmental toxins. So, really important that we are mindful of what we're exposing our bodies to, as well as how we support those built in detox pathways like the liver and the kidneys. Number 7 is relish. This is another fun favorite one. So, relishing small victories, finding support, being supported, allowing yourself to be supported. And this is about both connection and celebrating our victories along the way, no matter how small. And then finally, number 8 is recharge, which is sleep. Sleep is foundational to our health. So, really getting enough quality sleep ranks right up there, I think, with drinking enough water as far as just simple
Mhm.
ways you can reduce a lot of common thyroid symptoms like brain fog, fatigue, depression, things like that. So, those are the 8 daily
I'm always
rituals.
happy when sleep gets brought up.
Of course, right?
It's so when I first met my husband, he was a 5-hour a night
Ooh,
sleeper.
Oh.
And I'm like,
Ooh.
yeah, like I really like you, but
Yeah.
this ain't gonna fly. It's so funny now because he's now like we are big sleepers. I mean, 8 hours is the minimum, right? And so it is incredible. And what happened when he first started really sleeping is he couldn't keep weight on.
mm,
Wow.
Yeah, and I think people just don't realize, like, if you wanna have great skin, if you wanna de-age, if you wanna have a good healthy thyroid and adrenals, you sleep is key. So I'm gonna underscore that one again because anytime it's brought up, I get on a
oh,
little bit of a rant
we
about it.
love it.
So I love that. Now, the bigger thing, and we were talking offline about this. So you have your Thyroid Refresh TV, your podcast, and then you've also created something super cool because, you know, I work in weight loss, one of the like lowest compliance things that you could possibly do, like the highest recidivism rate, blah blah blah. And I've always looked at like, okay, what makes success automatic? What can we build in? And the thing that you can build in that really helps is this community, is having the support. So I know that you've put together this Thyroid 30, which I'd love you to talk about, and why you did it. What are the elements of it that can really help someone be successful so that we can start to use some of these in our everyday life?
Well, let me jump in because I'm really excited to talk just really quickly, and then I'll let Ginny give you a little bit more details on it. Uh, for us, we built something that we wish we would have had when we were healing. When I was by myself, feeling terrible, not understanding, taking my medicine all alone, I felt like in Costa Rica. If I'd had what we built, if I'd had Thyroid 30 then, I would have been instantly connected, instant community, instant high vibe. Because I let myself go down that rabbit hole of poor me, poor me, poor me, because I just didn't really know. And so we built Thyroid 30 because this is something we wish we would have had. It's built by thyroid patients for thyroid patients. And so we're really passionate about spreading the message because of the community and the high vibe that you really need to heal, because so many people don't understand it's an invisible disease, and it's hard for family and friends. It really is hard for them to get it. So to be in a close-knit group, it feels close, even though everybody's from all over the world, of people who get it.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
well, I think
Okay,
that
Ginny, you
was something that
chat.
really connected Danna and I right off the bat, is that we both shared this feeling that when we started, it was like we were in a vacuum. out there like, hello, is anybody out there? I'm just completely changing the way I eat and live all by myself over here. It was really challenging. And I had found support through other health challenges that were more for the general public, but I wasn't finding other thyroid patients there, people who understood some of the, unique issues I was facing. So like when you're hanging out with a bunch of CrossFitters and you're like, yeah, I've been exhausted for the last 6 days after that Zumba class, the general public or the thyroid healthy public will say they don't really get it. So I was really hungry for that understanding. I wanted to be on this journey with not just other people, but people who get it, who could relate to that unique struggle that thyroid patients go through. So Danna and I, what we decided to do is we came up with this idea. We decided to use technology to make this journey easier for other thyroid patients than it had been for us. And to add not just support, but also the motivation and accountability pieces that are required to take all those recommendations that, the 8 R's, the 8 daily rituals, and turn them into results. So we had this lightning bolt idea to really take thyroid healing to the next level using technology. So Thyroid 30 is our 30-day wellness app, and it uses gamification technology, which that's just a fancy way of saying that we used game-based rewards, badges, scoring, teams, and data to help propel patients up that thyroid healing ladder. And
so you actually made it fun
Yes.
rather than a drag.
Yes. And you might think,
imagine
people might hear that and think,
and you get rewarded.
right? And you might think, is that really going to help me? I'm not a game person. What's a badge going to do? This won't work for me. But you would be surprised. I mean, these simple gamification tools, they really tap into positive psychology.
Oh, we know they
Yes,
work.
we do.
Yeah.
I mean, look at video game technology. We know this
Right?
stuff works. I just love that you're putting it here. You've done a couple interesting things. Number one, the community of support is so key and critical because as you know, there are specific things that you need to shift in your diet and lifestyle. And then you get out into the regular world and people are like, oh, no, you can just have this. Oh, no, stay up late with us. I just got a text tonight. Someone's like, hey, come meet me at this speakeasy place. I'm like, it's a school night, people.
Right.
I'm not going out at 9:00 to meet you. On a what day is today?
Right.
Wednesday? No, that ain't happening. Are you crazy? So
we're in our jammies.
So it's good to have a group that
Oh, yeah.
right? I know. I mean, it's some days I'm in my jammies all day. But so I love that you've put that together because it does work. And it's we need to make changing your health fun.
Yeah, because, one of the things that, I like to say is, smiling and laughing is good medicine. Well, having fun is good medicine. I think that there's a lot of focus on the thyroid world or there was before, and everybody kind of gets in that, like I was saying earlier, mode of humdrum, poor me. And when you can step out of that, you have positivity, you have a different outlook, you just automatically feel better. So making it fun, wow, what a concept, right? And getting rewards and badges.
Well, I think
awesome.
Yeah. I want a
Me
badge.
too. I want a badge too.
I want a badge, darn it.
So I think there's another issue of overwhelm too. There's so much information out there about what to do if you have thyroid disease. You can find that anywhere, but we're really also trying to solve the problem of, okay, I know what to do, but now how do I actually do it? So it just sort of brings all those pieces together. And it's been really one of the most amazing experiences in Danna and I's lives to witness the way it has helped other people. And to just be part of this community.
And kind of the way it's unfolded. Yeah. And the way it's unfolded, we built it with these experts in mind. We built it with the JJ Virgins and the Dr. Alan Christensen's of the world because it's fully customizable. So if you're going to be sugar-free for 30 days and you're reading JJ's book and you want to follow whatever protocol she has out, it is possible and doable. We really felt like bridging that gap because we heard from so many doctors saying, I only have so much time. I only have, an hour and a half or 2 hours if you're going to the, functional medicine kind to spend. And then after that, they need recipes and videos and workouts and things like that. And so we kind of just hold their hand and let let the patient heal and have fun while doing it, and then get their expert information from their doctors or their healthcare providers. So
Very cool. Well, I love that you've created a big community of support and then broken it down to 8. I always love it when we've got like rituals and they all start with R's. It's very cool. I love all of this stuff. Now, we are up against the clock here, so I want to make sure that I'm honoring all of that as well. We are giving everyone, every time that we do a podcast, we give a gift. And I love this quiz that you've put together about how well you know your thyroid. And so you're going to be able to grab that quiz. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all this information at jjvirgin.com/8rituals, like I said before. And so you'll want to review the show notes for those 8 rituals and to grab the quiz. We'll put information so that people want to check out your community and see all about that. We'll put the information in there as well. So if you want to check out Thyroid 30, their app, you can see that too. We'll link over to your Thyroid Refresh TV podcast. You guys have so much going on. My goodness.
It's crazy.
Wow.
And we're fitting in me time. We're fitting in self-care, believe it or not.
That's so good. Yes. Well, you better. It's one of your rituals. If you don't, I'd be very, very, very worried about you. So yes, very cool. Awesome. Well, I thank you so much for taking your time out to hang with me today. I so appreciate you guys.
We are so thrilled and honored to be with you, JJ. It's we've always followed you for as long as Ginny and I can remember, starting out together. And so to be on your show is absolutely fabulous. Thank you so very much.
Well, you provided a ton of value. Now, after the break, I'm going to be giving you a top takeaway. So hang out and stay with me. All right, welcome back. Now, this is the time where I give you an action step to take to make sure that we took all this awesome information and then went into action with it. Of course, I want to make sure that you download the quiz and the 8 rituals, and you can do that at jjvirgin.com/8, the number 8, rituals. So you can grab everything there. We'll also link to Dr. Emily Kaibar's Thyroid Strong. So if you're looking for an exercise program that will help support you in your thyroid healing journey, she has put that together. It is brilliant, as is she. So we'll have that in there as well. If you need any testing or additional support, then we'll also link into Lab IQ, Dr. Alan Hopkins. And then, of course, Dr. Alan Christensen's got his team of physicians virtually who can support you. So we have got you covered with the community, with the wellness portal, with everything. But, and here's the action step for today. It was one of the rituals. It was the ritual of Rejuvenate, and that is that ritual of self-care. And when I heard that, I'm like, that's going to be my thing, because obviously I can't say pull out all 8. And what I would tell you with those all 8 is pick one, get it dialed in as a ritual, go to the next, with the first one really being self-care. And I look at self-care as step 1 of self-care is put yourself first. No, that's not selfish. In fact, it's selfless. We have a lot to accomplish on this planet, and can't accomplish that if you are dragging around and not at your best self and not being able to really show up where you need to show up strong. So the step 1 of being an amazing caretaker, of really being able to do what you want to do in life, is to take care of yourself and put your self-care as the uber single most important thing out there. And so that is my reframe to you. That's my big action step. My challenge is to really look at your self-care. And I'm always, I got to tell you, working on my self-care routine. I have a sunlight and sauna. I have a Juve red light therapy machine. I have some really amazing, like these incredible Purogenics collagen masks. I have my supplements, my food, my exercise. I have a gym at home now with my exerciser and my equipment in it. And so I'm always working on, all right, what is my self-care and how do I take that up to the next level? Oh, and of course, I have the most awesome bathtub that I do my Epsom salts baths in. So that's where I would have you start is self-care. What is your self-care routine, and what can you do to take that up a notch and take care of yourself? And if you think about the people you want to take better care of in your life, the best way to start is by being the awesome role model by modeling incredible self-care. All right. I would love to shout you out on our next podcast. So if you haven't left a review yet, hey, this is a big ask to have you do one. And while you're there, make sure that you subscribe to JJ. And all you have to do is go to subscribe to JJ. It is that simple. Subscribe to JJ and .com, and it will take you right there and you can subscribe. All righty. I will see you next time. Bye.